30 minutes into cardio Monday morning. .620, already done my morning video, got it uploaded to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Did 30 minutes of cardio, came down here and used every single machine in here. All of them for a minimum of 1 set, some of them 2 and 3 sets. Did some dumbbell work and then did bis and tris here and then push-ups. Not even 6:30 yet, Monday morning, and I've already got all that done. Now I'm gonna go up front, look at emails, anything that I can actually affect in the email, I will print so that that gets handled today. Then I'll get in the kitchen, so I've got the kitchen completely cleaned up before Jeremy gets here to start lunch this morning. So that's Monday so far. So Austin is setting up raised beds, and he wanted to put Miracle-Gro potting soil in one and Miracle-Gro in-ground in there, and then use natural dirt. And I said, rather than use natural dirt, why don't you use some of our compost, because we know what it is. It's almost all rabbit manure.
In the dirt to see what would happen.
Yeah.
So far, nothing has happened.
How long have they been in?
Weeks?
Yeah, something's happening. Were they already sprouting?
Yeah, they were seed potatoes.
They were chitting. They had the little...
They had eyes on them. I put them in their hole, though, to see what would happen.
Yeah, you can put them in their hole. As long as they've got eyes going, you're good.
It's still kind of nice out.
Now I know you're not going to understand this, but these paint chips, those are lead-based, so don't be eating on them. I know some of you guys, your favorite pastime is eating lead-based paint. It clearly shows by some of your actions. Not anybody listening to this video probably though. We just got all these old farmhouse windows out, just kind of cleaning this up, mainly because whatever we put in here next, these paint chips will stick to. A lot of times when we move stuff, we move it with moving blankets depending on what it is. And this will just, a few minutes spent right now on cleanup will really save a ton of time on the next stuff that we move. Once this stuff gets on those blankets and gets inside the building, it's all over the place. These have been out of the ground for a couple weeks probably. Not sure how bad the roots are cut, but we'll see. I don't even know if blueberries have a taproot or not. We're gonna load these up in this bucket here, drive them to the top of the hill, and put them in basically where other blueberries have died out over the years. We're just gonna pop them back in the same holes. Well, we're gonna auger the holes and kind of put them back in the same place. Yeah, at least they don't have thorns. Might just do it in 2 runs, man. Hey, what's up guys? Do you like blueberries? What are you doing, guineas? That little guinea's limping. It's not good. Might not be with us for long. Put one right here. You little bastards. Eating my blueberry seeds, my blueberry flowers. You're not gonna make it very long, buddy. As much as I hate killing these little pine trees, I'm gonna have to. Like this one here is gonna tear the fence up. It's all woven in between. Starting to see some bees on these. I guess that's a good sign. This right here is a mess though. If I remember right, this is full of those little bugs that were eating them all up last year. That's where we're gonna put all the fodder trees, right here. The ones on this other side here didn't do very well. I think we can get a couple here. One here, one more. Is this one dead? Yeah, I hit it with the mower and stood it back up, but it never took. How many more we got? Man, that one's heavy.
2 or 3.
Okay, so take this back down there and just throw it with the others. Grab the auger and we'll plant those extra ones down on the side over here next to the others. Those are the low pressure tracks. So imagine what the non-low pressure tracks would do. Boy, I'm lucky that thing had sensors on it. Power down. We see guys talk about, you know, how lucky we are that we have equipment or four-wheelers or side-by-sides. And then we see other guys that are like, man, those guys are so lazy. All they do is ride these bikes around. Well, it's because it's fun riding these bikes around. But there was a time, not so long ago, 35 years in business, and when we bought this property 6 years ago, it didn't look anything like this. And we didn't have any of this equipment. So we did everything with wheelbarrows. Amanda and I out here every weekend with, you know, cutters and little chainsaws and stuff as best we could. But my point to this is, for any guy that's like, oh, I can't do it because I don't have a tractor, or I can't do it because I don't have a four-wheeler. Nope. You know why? Because you got a bunch of shit that you spend money on that 90 days later means nothing to you. Most of the dudes saying that, they've got 2 cars in the driveway. They've got 3-4 TVs. They got a couple cable packages. It's just priorities. Take that money and let it build up and do something worthwhile. Buy you a small tractor, use it while you're saving up more money, and then sell it and add your more money and get a bigger tractor or another four-wheeler or whatever it is you want. Like this thing, I just bought this less than 6 months ago, maybe a year ago. I wanted a bigger, newer four-wheeler. I just didn't want to spend the money to do it. So it's just priorities. I don't think I can even pull this thing. I took all the piles of old seed, goat feed and everything out of this feed shed, spread it all around. This is where it fell, and then covered it all up with that wood mulch yesterday and then raked it all in place. I've always wished all of these were about 3 more feet forward. Yeah, so let's put this one like right here. Ta-dow. That's not gonna fit in there. Last time we did any of this up here, Chef Josh and I put all this stuff in. We were out here at like 6 in the morning and like 9 o'clock at night, setting all these blueberry bushes. One in, second one in, here goes the third one. We got cocks outside the wire. Those are the ones making that nest. There's a 4th one right there. So we're gonna go ahead and put these figs in while we're out here and we're dirty and we've already got the auger on. These 2 figs have probably been the best trees we've put on the entire property. So we're gonna skip over this area because we know the water line break happened here before. We know there's a joint there, so that's most likely where it'll happen again. We'll go ahead and pop one right here.
Nice hole. Put it on my penis.
Yeah, shit, that burns.
So with growing temperature zones seeming to be shifting a little, and the Chicago have a fig that's about the size of a golf ball. Yeah, it should be at a good nice. We'll put one right where you're sitting. All right, so all the holes we missed on the back side over there by the front of the driveway, we now have one every 16 feet or whatever these are. I think these are 8 feet or 10 feet, so they're either 16 or 20 feet apart. Oh look, what do you know? More zip ties. But we added all these holes here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more holes for fruit trees right here. And we added a couple more on the other side of this gate. And then we added some going up the hill by the blueberries. So I'm not sure how many we have. We've got at least 20 now. And then we put in 6 more fig trees over here. And we put in 3 blueberries, maybe 4 over here. Still Monday, so 6:30-ish, everybody's gone. We can walk over here and see the install. Somebody on my Instagram page said, hey, those look awesome. Make sure when you're drilling a hole with an auger that if it makes the side real smooth, which it did, make sure you scuff the sides up because it's so hot, it kind of like baked that clay. And I didn't even think of that. We put these suckers in and did not do that. So if they start kind of crashing, I guess we'll pull them back out and kind of chunk up the sides, but we'll definitely in the next ones do that because these ones are doing awesome here, these figs that we put in years ago, but we didn't use the drill in that manner. We used, I want to say these suckers were put in with a shovel. Me, Scully, Josh, and Babyhead dug most of this. Some of this might have been put in with an excavator. There's a little tiny bird on that branch there, that tree. I don't know if you can see it. There he goes. And now he's right there. That's some good info about the edges being smooth, and I can show you in some of these over here. They in fact are that way. So this is a fig, that's a fig, that's a fig, and that's a blueberry, that's a blueberry, that's a blueberry, and then there's a fig here, a fig there, and another fig over there. And I always want to plant way more. I want to stuff this thing full, but I like to be able to mow through here. And I don't know the answer. Do I even need to mow, right? Do I need to worry about the weeds around them? Usually we'll go through and just cover this up in mulch, and then you won't see weeds for 6 months probably. You'll just see beautiful heavy mulch. And then, you know, any place there's a dew line, which means on this tree, the farthest branches, the dew line would be here, like where if it got wet and dripped, that's your dew line. So about, you know, 5-foot circle around this blueberry here. These were dug off of a property. A friend of mine did a job. Thanks, Nick. Did a job and got a bunch of blueberries from this lady's house that she wanted out. And he brought some here, gave me some of them. So we just put them in. They've been sitting here a couple weeks, but we drilled a bunch more holes. You can see these chickens where the tractor, skid steer, Lester boys, where the tracks have run. It's just dug up all kinds of stuff, and these chickens are very interested in what's over here. So we'll duck in here real quick now that it's nice and quiet. So these holes we dug over a week ago, drilled them, and they've been sitting with water in them, like quite a bit of water. So I think what's going to happen, because if we break these in, if we just plant them, we basically just have a hole that holds water and it'll rot the roots out. We had that happen. We had some trees go a year or two and they died. And when we went to pull them up, there was no roots. They just rotted out. So I think the fix is this trench right here. You can't really see it anymore. It's all just been filled in and grown in. But when I put it in, when I installed it, it was probably 20 inches deep. I think we'll run it out so that it's considerably deeper and wider, so it's gradual, and then cut a hole or a trench from here to here, and then take that trench, fill it with gravel, and then kind of fill it back on the top with dirt so that it has somewhere to weep the water so it can kind of run downhill. And I think that will at least help it, but we're gonna have to do something, and I think that's the thing. I think that's the something we're gonna do. What are you even doing over here? Don't you have a home? Go home. Your crop is totally full. Look how her neck hangs down. That's because it's full of seed and bugs and grit. What'd you say? Did you say Timmy's in the well again? What? And what are you doing? You're eating grass and now you're bouncing around. Blow all those dandelions. Oh, you just did. You just ran through them. So this is where we had all the rabbits originally, and we drug them back and forth. And you can see we put down deer plot and clover and fescue and all kinds of grass mix. And you can see just right here how tall and bushy this is. And it's super fertilized from all the rabbit poop and pee. I think we're gonna do chickens this year with some Premier Poultry wire. So you just move it around, you keep the chickens confined. You can do 10 by 10, 20 by 20, acre by an acre, whatever you want. And it's just fiberglass poles, and they have spikes, and you just step them in. And then you use a solar fence charger, and it's like this netting that shocks them. So it'll keep your birds, and you just move them, and they'll just decimate an area. They'll tear up the ground and poop all over it, and just scrape their poop into the ground and eat all the bugs and seeds, and then you move them, and it's super fertilized. And when you move them, then you throw seed down where they used to be. So here's holes we just put in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more across here. And then we've got all this hill here. We can continue to plant rows up or down or whatever we want to do. I've always kind of toyed with the idea that we would eventually use this for more garden or crop space. I've also thought about trenching in here
and terracing it, doing it on different levels, or maybe cutting in here and you know, putting a storm shelter in here, a shipping container, not covered over the top, or maybe a concrete slab over the top or something. Oh, you guys think you're getting fed again? Here's the rooster. So it looks like we got all hens and this one new rooster out of this batch, but the other rooster is just putting a beating on him. See how he only has one tail feather? It's because that big rooster in there, he hops the fence and comes out and puts a beating on him. There used to be an even bigger rooster, and that rooster used to do the same thing to this guy. That's why this guy here has no tail feathers, because 6 months ago that other rooster pulled all his tail feathers out. So they're kind of starting to grow. And that's the one remaining purple Orpington or lavender Orpington. We had like 6 of them and they all died. That's the last one. Let's go see Mama Duck while we're up here. What are you doing? Can I touch you? I'll bet there's 14 eggs under her right now. Not you. I'm trying to call the chicken. Okay, I'll pet you. More pets?
Man, I'm talking about Willis, one of the realest to try. My family, SOE, got the